Hi guys, Archie Luxury on the Archie Luxury Paul Pluta channel doing paid reviews today. This is paid review 9N40 and this here is a question that's come in from Anil, and before we do the paid review, let's do a quick wristwatch check. What am I wearing there? I'm wearing a ArchieLuxury Reverso Grande date. This is right, this is my beautiful, it's the only steel watch in my collection now, the Reverso Grande date. Okay guys, this is a question from Anil. Now Anil sent me this here. He goes, "Hi Arch, hope you're well. Seeking your advice on my first Rolex. I have a budget of approximately 5,000 Great British pounds." And he sent me a link. He sent me a link to a watch. It was a Rolex Oyster Perpetual date 2017. It was reference 115234. So that actually has the white gold that has the white gold bezel. So I'd say that's pretty damn interesting watch there. You don't see a lot of interest, I must say. The problem with this watch here, being a date, see, Rolex has two streams of watches. They have the date just, and they have the date. And a lot of people don't really know what the difference is. And they do this in the ladies as well as the men's. And it's very confusing because it used to mean the dates traditionally would have the smooth bezel. They would also have they tended to have Oyster bracelets as opposed to the Jubilee, which was a more prestigious type of option there. So the problem is now, to confuse matters, you now can get a date just in all of that stuff there. So it is a bit confusing. Now he's got a budget, as I said, 5,000 Great British pounds, which in US dollars I think is a smidgen under 6,400 US dollars. So that's reasonable to buy a sports steel Rolex, steel, not a sports, a steel, because this is not a sports, this is a dress, sort of a semi-dress watch, you know. Okay, so he's asked me, what do I think? Should I buy or something else with 5,000 pounds? Thank you, Anil. Look, so as I was saying there, the dates, they traditionally tend to be a little bit smaller than the date just. The date just is traditionally 36 mil. The dates, they tend to be, traditionally they were 34 mil, so 2 mil smaller. Now you could say the date just at 36 mil is a smidgen small. Well, the date at 34 definitely is smaller. The thing is, with the dates themselves there, a lot of women now like the 34 mil. They feel the 36 was probably pushing the envelope, but 34 could be a better size there. What do I think? What would I do? Look, to be totally honest with you, in the 80s, I had a good friend of mine who unfortunately died. That was Herman, the real estate agent. He's had 17 BMWs. He had 17 BMWs throughout his working life. And when Herman was doing well, we're talking early 90s, like 1993, 1994, Herman wanted to buy a Rolex. Everyone bought a Rolex. And what did Herman buy? He bought a two-tone Oyster Perpetual date. And he bought it in Hong Kong. Yes, he did. And I got to tell you, back in the era, like 90s, a 34 mil watch, people didn't even ask how many mils it was. They just, oh yeah, this is a watch. Oh yeah, that's nice enough. Yeah, that's cool. Now they do. Size seems to be so important. Even Patek didn't even really advertise the size, 33 mil or whatever. They didn't really say it. It wasn't really an issue. So I gotta be completely honest with you, Anil. For a man, I think it's a smidgen too small. you'll always have trouble getting out of it. It's not a terrible watch. This is actually a 2017. It's not a terrible watch, and it will sell because ladies would buy it because it is. But I got to be honest with you, first Rolex, you don't really want to get a girl size watch for a man. That's kind of a bit, I wouldn't do it, okay? I really wouldn't do it. I think what I would do is, instead of getting, now a Rolex date has the date feature. Instead of getting the date, I'd rather get a three-hander in a bigger size. I mean, if you like the smaller ones, a 36mm Rolex Explorer 1, the 14270 is beautiful. Even an Oyster Perpetual, they're doing Oyster Perpetuals, 36mm, you can get 39mm. Personally, if it was me, I'd get a Steel Sports Rolex. Steel Sports Rolex, your money's safe, and I would get at least 36mm. Does that mean that's a terrible watch? No, it's not at all. It'll always sell because there's going to be women will buy that, okay? But as a man, I don't want to compromise like that. It's kind of the floor is too big, I think. If it was very cheap, you'd say, okay, it was cheap, yeah, it doesn't matter, but it's not really that cheap. And I personally, I would be putting a wee bit more in, getting the better one, and I would be enjoying that. That's what I would be doing. I would really be enjoying the correct size, not a cheapie. You know what I mean? It's kind of, the funny thing is, it didn't matter before. When I got my first Patek, I got a 3919, and it was 33mm, so even smaller. Now that watch is sort of stigmatized. Oh, it's small, it's the first thing. And the interesting thing is, a 5119, which is only a couple mil bigger, guess what? It goes for thousands more. So in my opinion there, I wouldn't get it. I'd put a little bit, instead of getting the date, I would get one without the date and get a bigger size. I think it's going to be much more saleable, much more. It's nothing wrong with it. If you had that watch, if someone gave it to you, you think, fuck, it's a Rolex, it's cool. But if you're using your own money, why settle for a mistake or a compromise when it's so fucking obvious? It's so fucking obvious it's not a good size. It's a girl size, okay? It's fucking girl size. 34mm in Rolex is too fucking small. It uses a 19mm bracelet instead of a 20mm. There's kind of a whole stack of things. Mind you, the 4-digit plastic Daytonas also use 19mm bracelets, but that's another story. So yeah, I just get a bit bigger. I personally wouldn't buy it, but you could do a lot worse. You could buy a fucking Breitling, or you could buy, there's a lot of watches you could do a lot worse. At least it's a Rolex, but there you go. The Pontiff has spoken. I've said what you should do. Tell me what you think, guys. Like, subscribe, tell your fuckhead friends, put some nasty comments down below, and remember, guys, paid reviews really keep me in the chair. If you wasn't getting paid reviews, man, I couldn't do this gig. I kind of depend heavily on people paying for the reviews. $50 US. I review your collection, I'll answer your horological dilemmas, and I'll tell you what I think. I'm Paul Pluta. Tell me what you fuckaroonies think of that. Nice one, Arch. Great vid. I think it's too fucking small. David SW. David SW. David SW. Who does ArchieLuxury recommend is the greatest grey market dealer in America? There's only one choice. David SW. That's right, guys. I've got to tell you the honest truth. I have for a long time been looking for the perfect answer. Who do I recommend people go to see? Who do I recommend that people can go and buy watches? And I've got to be honest with you. The greatest pre-owned dealer for Rolex, Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet is David SW. David SW. David SW. davidsw.com. That's right, guys. I have been looking for a contact who I can very nicely refer people to. I am not in the selling business. Customer service, I'm too old to sell watches. I'm too old. I like to recommend my viewers to a reliable source. In Australia, I've got some great sources. There's Sydney Watch Exchange with Cove, Ronnie at Vintage Watch Co, Shani at European Watch Gallery. And in America, who is the best source for pre-owned Rolex? For all the hot models? There's only one person I would recommend, David SW. David SW, David SW. That is the premier source for pre-owned Rolex. I gotta be completely frank and honest with you. Guys, if you are looking for a hot Rolex model, there is only one place you can go to. David SW. David SW, David SW. Let's be honest, guys, there's no point schmoozing the dealers, the ADs. They're just a waste of time. Unless you're going to buy 20 pieces, you are wasting your time. What you're better off to do is pay the market premium and go to a good pre-owned dealer. Who do I recommend? David SW. David SW, David SW. That's correct, guys. I want to tell you this now. I 100% stand behind David SW. David SW, the greatest pre-owned dealer in the entire United States of America. That's right, the greatest pre-owned dealer for Rolex, for Patek Philippe, for Audemars Piguet, David SW. He even does things like FP Journe. David SW, David SW, David SW. That's right. If you want to buy a pre-owned Rolex, a Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet, there's only one good source I would recommend. David SW, David SW, David SW. I'm Paul Pluta, the method actor who plays Archibald Chesterfield III, and I'm proud to recommend David SW. See you later. Thank you for watching this channel.